Oh, we're live. We're live on Facebook as well. Awesome. So welcome to
I think that
everybody
we
that's
have a
joining.
delay. I don't.
Is there's a delay? There's going to be a
Yeah.
delay on Facebook. Yeah, there's always.
No, well, between you and I was talking about between you and I. So if I don't answer you right away, it's because I have a delay.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay?
No worries. Thank you for all that are joining. So for those that don't know me, I'm Anuschka Alborzian. I'm an empowerment health coach and energetic healer. And this is Jacob Moya. I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm also have my own practice. I help people to release trapped emotions and to bring the bodies into balance, either out of physical symptoms or emotional symptoms.
Awesome. Yeah, and today we're having our Healers Talk live. We've been doing these every Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about emotions Q&A. We're going to have an emotions Q&A and really just looking at how emotions affect us, because they do, right? And we'd love to share some of this with you all. So why is it, Jacob, when it comes to emotions, why is it we feel down, for instance?
Well, it's the way that I see it, of course, right? And the way that I see it is based on my experience and based on my practice with other clients. The body is always giving us a symptom to bring something to our attention. So, for example, if you have a shoulder pain, most likely is because you have something trapped there, or something that is connected with that particular area of your body is misaligned or is not working properly. So when you are feeling down, it's either because you are in the process of healing something and you feel down because all your energy is focused on that part of the healing, so you don't have all that boost that we usually you carry with. So for example, when I'm working with people, it's very natural that the next day or the next 2 days, they experience moments of feeling themselves a little bit down, a little bit different. And then also have another problem when, for example, you are a depressive person, you constantly feel bad, you're a pessimistic person. That's another situation that creates these emotions, because your body wants to bring to your attention uh, how the body is managing energy inside of you. So when you're feeling down, it's like you are not bringing all that energy, the energy is not pumping all over the place, and you're also going to experience a physical symptom. Now,
Yeah.
the emotions that make you feel down, like anxiety, fear, doubt, depression, all the type of things, for me at least, are considered dense emotions. And dense emotions can only be hosted in the physical side of you, in your body. So the physical side of you is not very alive, is not very energetic. When you feel euphorious, it's an emotion that comes from the inside out, but you cannot touch it, you cannot feel it, right? You don't know in which part of the body you're feeling the euphoria. You feel it everywhere. But when you're feeling down, or you feel a little bit of pain, you can actually pinpoint to the part of your body that you have it, because it's very specific. It's very, very, it's usually at the one particular area of your body.
Yeah, and that's one of the
So
things
that's what it is.
I love, I love learning more and more about this, especially since you introduced me to German New Medicine. I've been delving into the different things that we actually experience within our body, and how it actually is correlated to emotions and energy that's trapped somewhere that requires some healing. And so that, yeah, I feel like you answered the second question here is, like what happens in our body, and it actually shows up in different parts of our body when we have these lower frequency, down, pessimistic type of feelings and whatnot, right?
Right. Right. But there's always like a source, right?
Right.
Because the feeling is the symptom, right? You're feeling down. Well, yeah, but you're not just wake up and you were feeling down. Sometimes you do, but there's a reason behind.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
as a
really, it's like, yeah,
healers,
healing the
as
source.
people that we work with others, that's our job, to try to find out where it's coming from.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I realize. A lot of treatments and whatnot that are out there, they're healing the symptoms rather than actually getting to the root source of it. And that's, I loved, learning that from you and just different
Right.
modalities as well. As like, where is the root source? And it could be childhood trauma, it could be adulthood trauma, it could be trauma, right, from any point of our life. And and then it's like,
It
okay,
can be
well,
anything.
right, previous lifetimes even, right? So now where are
Right.
all the
It,
oh yeah, we do have a delay. Go ahead.
this is the thing, the one of the biggest problems that we are experiencing is that in the physical world we are always, because it's a world of balance, it's uh, hot, cold, good, bad, I like it, I don't like it, it's healthy for me, it's harming for me, it's working always at the balance level, right? So in our brains to uh, apply our physical logic in search for balance in everything, so for example, one of the laws of physics is that for every action there's a reaction, right? Now when you go into the energetic body, it's a completely different animal, and we don't necessarily came to this world equipped with all the tools that we needed to experience, or to master or to manage the energetic world. And you can see it. I mean, many of the healings that we do, it's like for example, just now I was working with someone before the live Zoom that they had a trap emotion in, I think it was on the head, on one area of her head, and we bring, I put a magnet there and I put another magnet in her lungs, and we start doing hyperventilation to remove it and release it. And the thing is that we were able to do that. I mean, we actually measure it, how we transfer from one thing of another. So but it's not logical. The first of all, I'm using a magnet to release that, and second, that I'm going to search for a complement of that polarity in another area of the body that is completely opposite, right? It's not logical, but that's how it works. In an energetic world, there's no rules, there's no things that are set. So what it works for someone not necessarily is going to work for another person, although sometimes they do. And the emotions are part of our energetic body, are not part of our logical physical body. Because if we were part of our logical physical body, we always feel good, right? And we always will have a smile, and we always will be searching for the things that bring meaning to our life. But we're not. It's the other part of ourselves that we cannot see, that we can only feel and experience, are trapped in that magnificent world of energy that can take you to places that are completely amazing. So sometimes when I am going through this and talking to people about healing past trauma, we start going to places that even, I mean, I am the healer, I am the one doing the work, and it's hard for me to grasp, to understand, to believe on it. But I tell them, let's just play with it. Let's see where the energy and the answers are taking us, and let's just do whatever the intuition and the answers uh, guide us to heal this event. And what it really matters is that we heal. That at the end, you are not experiencing the pain, or you are no longer having that blockage in the body. So the energy is flowing, and we measure when the energy is flowing very easily through muscle testing in kinesiology and all that good stuff. But that's the thing. I mean, to be open to all possibilities, and then don't pass a judgment on it. You know, that's what it matters. Don't pass a judgment. Don't say it's because of this, it's because of that, it's good or it's bad. It's just is. You know, and if you have it, it's because it's good for you to have it. And if it's bringing a symptom, it's because it's part of the healing. You know, and so what we
So
can do is just help the body to finish that.
To just ask another question around that, though, just to get a little more clarity, because yes, you know, emotions are tied to our energy. When we feel certain emotions, then it's going to impact the energy that we're pretty much vibrating, right? So then how can you actually know if you've healed an event, if you've healed the root source? How do you actually know that you have?
Okay, this is, we don't know. That's the real answer. Okay. We don't know. But how we can find out if we were able to reach the source is because the symptoms that we're creating are completely gone. They're not coming back, you know? But if they come back, it's because you haven't reached the source. And there's another layer that you have to work on. And now, I mean, if we apply the logic, we will think that that layer it was before the one that we heal, right? Because that's what the logic tells us, you know. You have a number one, and you have a number two, and you have a number three, and I was healing this one that I thought it was number one, but in reality it was number three. So we should find number two or number one behind, right? That is on our blind spot. But in reality, at an energetic level, can be that there is something that happened after, you know, and that is very powerful to the point that you need to heal it individually. Instead of healing everything like in a domino effect, when you heal something and everything else falls down, you sometimes comes that that you find one particular event that was very impactful for you, that you to the point that you need to heal it individually. Because remember this, every time that we go, you Anuschka, use with your clients a lot this experience about giving birth, right?
Yes.
You go through all this different pain and so on and so forth, but eventually you have your kid and then you forget about everything. Okay, so let's explore the same example, but now applying psychology and all the energy, right? So now, what happens is that when you are experiencing that pain, when you go into labor, when ladies go into labor, remember that the bones are actually cracking out. You know, it's like moving. The pelvis is getting. I mean, the pain is gotta be excruciating, right? So when you are experiencing that type of pain, all your senses are active. You know. And you are recording how it smells, how it feels, how it looks, the time of the day, the temperature. All your senses are active because the pain is so powerful that your subconscious mind is open completely and recording the experience. And at that particular moment, most likely especially if it's the first time, you're gonna start saying like, oh, heck no, I don't wanna do this again, you know, like, oh my God, this is so painful, and so on and so forth. And in reality, it's very painful. You know, as a father, I can tell you, because I was there when my daughter was born, and it was, I mean, you feel powerless, you know, because you cannot do much. But now what happens? You deliver a baby and they give you your baby. And that baby, although it's crying, eventually open up the eyes and lock eyes with you. And that extreme explosion of unconditional love rushed through all your body, you know, and you feel that euphoric emotion. And so what happens? At the psychological level, it records all that, you know, as well. And because this is an event that you experience afterwards, this one eliminates the other one, right? Because now all that stuff about it was so painful and so bad, it's completely overpowered by this beautiful emotion of creating life, of having finally meeting someone that you've been feeling and you've been dreaming of for very, very long time, a lot of months, right? So just imagine that. So because of that, your subconscious mind recorded it as a good event. And that's why you don't remember the pain. And that's why you don't remember all the awful part of giving birth. And you only recording the good part, right?
Right.
Now, your subconscious mind is no different in any other event. If you have an accident, like a car accident, or something that was impactful, not a small cut or something meaningless, you know, something that activates all your emotions, everything gets open up, and the recorder start again, you know, turn on the recording and start recording the smell, the sounds, the weather, how you feel, where you feel, you know, the whole environment is try to catch in all the energy of all the people around you. And if you have something like I said, like in a car accident, and the other person was at fault, you were not at fault, the other person was at fault, you perceive the energy of that person at subconscious mind level, and it creates a program. And every single time that you are close to a person that match the vibration of that person, you're gonna get triggered. And then if you have the same music and it's the same time or the same temperature, then the trigger goes deeper into you, you know? So now, why I'm going with all this? Because we have programs in our subconscious mind that we're creating there. And when you asked me if, how do you know if it's the source? Well, it was the source of an original program, subconscious program, you know? And it was a source of a karmatic contract. But you may have other programs in your subconscious mind that bring similar symptoms out. They got nothing to do with the first one, right? It is because of another event. But if you're having a symptom, it's because of an event. And that's like a wake-up call. That's your body trying to catch your attention to heal. So now let's go back to the accident. If you don't forgive that person, if you don't give up all the feelings and all that stuff, it's like it's like you haven't completed the circle. And we all experience this because we all have issues with people that we were best friends of, you know. And if you haven't forgive them or you haven't apologized to them about whatever it is that happens that make you split, if you happen to cross paths with that person, you're gonna feel very uncomfortable, you know, and you're gonna feel like instead of giving you like, oh, so good to see you, it's gonna be like, oops, here's this person. I'm gonna say hi and everything, but inside of you, you're feeling horrible, you know, very uncomfortable, you know. And that's
unless you heal it though, right?
Unless you heal it, because remember, he or she can be still upset with you. But if you heal it on your side, on your end, the next time that you see it, it's gonna be like, hey, how are you? You know, it's so good to see you. It's been such a long time, and let's try to reconnect, and so on and so forth, because you let go of everything. And that's why we talk a lot about you can heal yourself, you cannot heal other people, you know. You can heal how you're going to react, you cannot heal how other people are going to react against you. And it really doesn't matter, because what it matters is that you don't experience those reactions inside of you.
You're becoming a little choppy.
That's what it matters. That's what we are looking for.
Can you hear me, Jacob? I think we might have lost him. Yeah, he'll join back. But yeah, I mean, just to add. Can you hear me now? Okay. Well, I was just going to add on to that. But yeah, absolutely. I do feel like, I don't know, you might have to log back in, yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. But yeah, I mean, it's very clear, you know, when we actually hold on to emotions and we hold on to resentment, fear, anger, any of that, then we're suppressing that. And when we suppress it, it ends up actually showing up somewhere in the body. And the work to heal it, it can be done on your own. And I feel like I'm jumping in. Okay, yeah, we lost him fully. Well, I'll just continue. He's going to jump back in, I'm sure. And we can definitely take on the work to do to really heal it. The best thing to look at is to see what does, give me 1 second here. All right. He's going to join back in shortly. So you're having me here. Oh, there we are. So what I just wanted to say around that, yeah. I'm just going, I'm just pretty much going off of what you were saying. And what I was saying is, holding on to any emotions, resentment, anger, fear, any of it will actually start to show up in different parts of the body. And the healing work can be done, and you can do it on your own. Absolutely. And how I feel like how I know that something is completely healed, whether it's a person or, a thing, I don't know. For me, for instance, I used to have a trigger of being thought of as stupid. That used to be a trigger of mine. And now I notice that I don't get that reaction, that charge really anymore around it. And so for me, I've noticed, okay, well, it looks like I've healed that, and, for instance, like, there are people that I used to get reactive towards. And now it's like, oh no, I give them the love. Now there are people I still get triggered by, so I know there's healing to be done, right?
Well, this is the thing, as long as we are alive, we're gonna have that type of emotions, right? It's just normal because that's what we're here for, to experience. What the problem is if we don't allow those emotions to move out, to move forward, to continue its process, and many times it's because of our lifestyle, because our body was programmed since the beginning to connect with the air, to release energies, to do all that kind of beautiful things on its own, naturally, without us needed to have an intention or do anything other than living, But right now, our lifestyle, for example, like we talked about this before, we have insulated shoes, they don't allow us to connect to the air. They don't allow us to release all the energy and to grab all the new energy from the earth. It's just the way that it is, And we don't make as much exercise as we used to, When you do exercise, you breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. Your heart is pumping hard, you're sweating. So we release a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff through that. So how can you know if you have a trap emotion inside of you? Is because if you talk about it, change you emotionally, and remember that the brain don't know the difference of what is real and what is not. So you can just close your eyes and think of the person, the event, or the experience that you had, and allow you to feel how you feel, and you can actually take it to another level. You can watch a YouTube video of babies smiling or laughing or something comic, so you can raise all your vibration, and then close your eyes and think about that event and see if your energy shifts. And if it shifts, it's because you still have stuff there, and that's the way that your body lets you know that there's something that to work on.
And not ignoring it too, right? For me, for instance, just to bring up, just the last couple months. I mean, I talked to you several times with, this new discovery of there's something in my brain right now, right? And it took, it was like definitely the emotions were very
just
strong.
The last couple months. I mean, I talked to you several times with you.
Facebook stuff.
Yeah, it's
and well, let me just finish this part though, because like I feel like now when I talk about it, there are no emotions there because I'm so clear that this is a healing journey now. Yeah, and of course it was getting to the root source of it was a big part, but for me it was really just seeing, because I constantly was like, well, what's the gift in this? What's the gift in this? And now Does it mean that there's something still there or not? I don't know. We'll find out in 2 months. I am taking on the actions though. I'm using the ant oil, right?
And not just that, just you for example say something very important. I don't know, I will find out. Who cares? You know, if you don't feel it right now, that's good enough.
Yes.
If it comes back and you feel it again, instead of feeling yourself down because, oh my God, here I go again, you should be like excited about, oh my God, you know, I find it again. Let's work on this sneaky thing, you know, that is being hiding from me. You should be excited instead of down, you know, and then you heal it again, you know, and you go through the process again.
Yeah, it's
So
an
that's what it is. Yeah.
opportunity, and that's what I'm like starting to see about when things show up in the body. It's actually an opportunity to have us look at what is there that needs healing that we can heal now. So you know, that's where I'm at, and I'm actually grateful for it as emotional that it was, you know, for a couple months. But that's what allowed me to actually come to this place of saying, okay, well now what can I do to heal this, and looking at the source of it first, right? And then also doing things for the symptom, and you know, bringing my vibration up and bringing up my frequency and all the joyful things and love and whatever there is that's more on the higher vibration side. And that's been really powerful. So I was going to just say, and so can one do it on their own? I would love, you know, for you to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, your body is not gonna manifest something that you cannot work on your own. You know, even the worst of the sicknesses that we experience can be worked on your own. I mean, I mean, of course, I'm not a doctor. What do I know about all this stuff? But it's nature, you know, and you have it is for a reason, right? And so we need to find what the reason is. Is what is it you're trying to balance? So there's many modalities, and nowadays, you know, if you went to Facebook and if you went to YouTube, you're gonna find hundreds of examples, you know, and just find something that resonates with you and give it a shot. And if you are stuck and if you are not able to do it, well, then seek a professional. You know, there's a lot of people like us that we make a living out of trying to find new and shortcuts, you know, in the process of healings to apply with our clients. And so it's always good to have that. But the idea is that, I mean, that you don't keep anything inside of you that shouldn't be there. You know, that's what it matters. That's what is really important, you know. And so
release.
Really, I mean, and it's not just to release, it's to allow energy to come freely through your body. You know, that's the concept.
And that's
it's not only
healing,
I want to release this because it don't belong in my body. It's just keep the experience and then move on. You know, move on. Because we never leave anything.
Dwell on things, for sure. That's, I think, the biggest thing is, sometimes people dwell on, you know, the negative emotions more than looking at all the positives in their lives. And that's a big one. And if, you know, if there is something that is upsetting, looking into that, seeing what that is.
Right. And it's always good. I mean, it's because, you know, we talk about a lot about vibration, and the thing with vibration is that people think that that's too woo most of the time. You know, they don't understand that. But think about vibration as feeling good. You know, when you are at a higher vibration, you feel good. It's like when you are in love. You know, you see the world and everybody around you in a completely different way than when you are depressed. So it's exactly the same. That is a vibrational thing. You know, when you raise your vibration, you feel different. It's like if things are not happening, it's like, okay, you know, it's not for me. Okay, maybe I feel a little bit disappointed, but maybe I understand also that there's a reason why it's not for you, so you can continue and try to find what it is for you.
Yeah, and one of the things I always share, you know, with that is actually for my clients and myself, just creating a love bubble around you and just having, you know, like just being aware of what is it that is going to create more love in your life, receiving love, being open to love, feeling the love, because love has a really healing and high
Exactly.
vibration. And it's, you know, love heals. It really does. So,
Always,
yeah.
always. And what happened is that a higher vibration overpowers a lower vibration. And we have the case of we were talking about childbirth, you know, a
Mhm.
higher emotion overpowers completely all that painful stuff and make it completely manageable, you
Yeah,
know. So
absolutely.
it's always like that. It's always like that. It just covers and overpowers all that stuff.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So I'm curious to see if anybody out there, we have, you know, quite a bit of people on Instagram watching, and then we have a few here on Facebook. So I'd love to see if anybody has questions when it comes to emotions, releasing your emotions, or anything around that. We'd love to give a couple minutes here for that. And if not, it's totally fine. And while we wait for that to see if anybody has any questions, I
Yeah,
also
definitely.
wanted to, hmm, what was that? Oh,
No, and I was have a little bit of delay. So if you have a question, that's the reason why I was trying to go into Facebook to see if I could see questions, but
yeah, yeah,
then
and
the sound was in and it's a mess.
yeah,
But
yeah,
let's
it's
type it if possible, you know, and send me a
yeah,
message with it if possible, so I can see what the questions are, so we can answer it to the people.
yeah,
Because, like I
absolutely.
said, I'm
Right
losing you
now,
constantly. I don't know if there's an issue on your end or on my end.
right now, no, no, I don't. I'm not seeing any. And again, you know, if anybody does have any questions, we'll just give it a couple minutes. I do want to say, oh, how do you release? Oh, hi, Matthew. How do you release your emotions without hurting others?
I'm back.
Oh, yeah. So did you hear the question? I can type it in the chat too. It's so Matthew's asking, how do you release your,
If you can,
here, let me type it
how
to
do
you.
you? Yeah, and if possible, send it over through text so I can have it clearly, because I only understood how can we release what an emotion.
How do you release your emotions
Okay,
without
well,
hurting others?
I'm gonna
Without
assume there is the last one.
wait, I think you didn't hear.
Well,
Without hurting
first of
others though.
all,
Did you hear that part? Without hurting others?
without
Yeah.
hurting others.
So
Okay.
releasing emotions without hurting others. Yeah.
Well, first of all, you know, when I'm working physically with someone, I show them that if I push them, they naturally resist. You know, they resist my push. So you cannot release a feeling of anger that you have against someone by just attacking them. You know, because every action creates a reaction. So that other person is gonna have to react and defend itself, because nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody wants to be right. And that's most of the time what happens with conflicts, you know, that you start with on the one side, the other person is on the other side, and now it's about winning the battle. It got nothing to do with the problem that originated this argument. So now, so if that's the situation, how can you do it? Well, the easiest way is to do it on your own, when you are with yourself, when you are no longer with the other person, and then bring that memory back and leave it as vivid as possible, and allow all the manifestations of energy to happen through your body. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to laugh, laugh. If you want to hit something, you know, grab a pillow in the bath and start hitting it. You know, it's like, if you want to say I hate you, just say it and release it. And it's way better if you do it barefoot. And it's even better if you do it connected to the earth directly, not through carpet, you know, but connected to the earth. And it's magnificent because it helps you to take all that energetic and emotional charge out of the event. So now, the same way, like when I tell to people, let's start doing deep breaths, they go, you know, and it's not a 2-step breath, it's a 3-step breath. You have to bring it in, you have to swallow it to bring it inside of the body, and then you have to release it, right? Okay, so it's a 3-step. So the healing part is also on 3 different steps. One of the steps is to release the energy that is inside of you, right? The second step is your intention. You have the intention to release. So you are doing the intention and you're doing the action part. So you're doing 2 things. But the third one is to forgive. And that's the part that most of all completely miss. You know, you go through the event, especially, for example, if you're a woman, it's more normal to cry, right? When someone hurts you. So you cry, you release, and then what? You stay there. And so you leave the event open. But if you forgive the person, even if that person is not asking for forgiveness, you know, it's not recognizing that they're wrong.
Well,
You
forgiveness
forgive
is for
them
ourselves, right?
Yes, because it frees you. It frees you.
Forgiveness is
You
for
know,
yourself. Absolutely.
completely avoids creating a karmatic contract where you're gonna end up living something similar on an opposite role. Where right now you were the victim, so you're gonna shift into a perpetrator, in order for you to experience, to be able to heal. Because that's how life works. You know, life wants to take you from one side to the other side so you can experience everything, so you can let it go, you know. And many people get stuck there. And now as a perpetrator, now they go back to victim, now they go back to perpetrator, now they go back to victim. And it's because they keep living it on and on and on, because you haven't finished anything. So just leave the emotion, release the emotion, ask for forgiveness, and forgive. You know?
Now, one thing I wanted to add to that, well, a couple of things. I wanted to just also add that when we do get triggered by other people, you know, it's actually whatever is already within us. So what ends up happening is, you know, we end up attracting different people, incidences, whatever that looks like, in order for us to heal whatever is already within us. So if it seems like someone else is the reason, right? It's actually more of like something that's already, it's like a mirror. People are our mirrors, is the way I look at it.
In one way it is, what happens is, remember that we were talking about the subconscious mind and how some information gets there, and then you get triggered and activates that program inside, right? It's not that you bring that people to yourself, it's that you become more aware about that people, you know. And we all experience that event where are my keys, where are my keys, where are my keys, oh my God, and you turn the house upside down and you have them on your hand, right? Or you have it in your pocket, right? And it's because your subconscious mind was allowing you to experience that you didn't have the keys on you, so you couldn't see them, you couldn't feel them. They were not present in your life, although physically they were there. So it's the other example that most therapists use is that when you choose to purchase a car in a particular color, now you see it everywhere, right? Because now you open yourself to the experience of something different and new, that you think that you are the only one carrying it, but because it's in your awareness, you start seeing it everywhere. So it's the same way. The subconscious mind works the same way. It blocks you from everything else and only allows you to see what it creates, a compatibility with the judgment of the subconscious mind program that is behind them. You know, so that's why it's very important. You know, I'm gonna give you to share a trick that we can all use. You know, have on your phone, on your notes, all the things that you want in your life, all the beautiful things. You know, I want to be healthy, I want to be thin, I want to eat only always in positive healthy foods, and have a nurturing relationship, whatever. You know, you just put everything.
If you had it all your way, your ideal way, what that right?
Yeah,
That's what you're
yeah,
referring to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And meditate about it. Meditate about it. Because, for example, if I say, I want to have my own plane, meditate about it, because having a plane implies that you need to hire pilots and you need to have an insurance and you need you're not traveling every single day and you have an asset right there, depreciating every single minute and you're not using it. So it's kind of more complicated, right? But if you say, well, I want to have a newer car because my car is getting broken all the time, it's mechanically or too old or whatever it is, I want a new car. Okay, well, have an idea of the new car that you want and meditate about it, be conscious, something that you really, really want. And the next time that you are completely pissed off, like you had it, it's like you are enraged and no one can be near you because you are just like a atomic bomb, grab all that stuff and start repeating all the things that you see yourself and you're gonna be or you want to become,
And get
so they
connected
can
to
go
it
to
too,
your
right?
subconscious. Yeah, so they can go
It's
to
not,
your subconscious mind.
yeah. So I was going to say, yeah, when you're reading it, actually connect to it. And actually, you can even close your eyes and imagine that, because that's when you're again, like Jacob said, you don't know that your mind doesn't know the difference between like what actually happened and what we envision, right?
Yeah,
So
but let me
that's part
tell
of
you
it.
something. Yeah, it's a little complicated to do it to active. Okay, let me give you an example. We all have the capability of activate all our senses. We all do that. We all have it. It's inherent in us, but we don't believe that we have that capability, and that prevents us from being able to do it. Now, we do it when we are very upset, when something goes wrong or someone is pushing our buttons and they trigger us and we are all over the place. That's one way. Another way is when you I don't know how to say it nicely, have an intimate moment with yourself. Okay, in order for you to experience an intimate moment with yourself, you need to activate all your senses and see the reaction. You are feeling in your body like you are with someone else, that they are touching you exactly the right way, in the right places, for the period of time that you need in order for you to trigger all that emotion inside of you and then have a release, right? So if you can do it for that, you can do it for everything. The thing is that we don't believe it. And that's why I suggest you to have a list. And every time that you find yourself in those moments, go to your list and make it part of your own. Because then your subconscious mind only gonna bring to your awareness the things that you want, the things that will take you to the places that you want. That's how it works. That's where magics happen. That's if you read Napoleon Hill, he talks about in his original book, the not the Law of Success, or I think it's the Law of Success, the original. They have like several volumes, and so yeah, the other one is Think and Grow Rich. In the Law of Success, he starts talking about that, utilizing the sexual energy to manifest stuff. And basically, if you translate that, is not utilizing the sexual energy. It talks about creating all the emotions inside of you to manifest whatever it is that you want, because that's when your subconscious mind opens and that's when you start recording all the stuff.
Yeah.
So now, going back to the question, and I am sorry for going all over the place with this, but it was important information, is if you experience an event that triggers you, that makes you feel bad, sad, any tense emotion, anxiety, whatever it is, go into your own, try to relieve it, try to release it by allowing whatever emotion is coming into your body to move. Especially if you're doing it barefoot, on the grass, on the dirt, next to a tree, it will be amazing. And just let everything go. Once you let it go into the opposite emotion, heal it. And it's like, you know what? I understand that we are different, and I understand that you are creating balance in my life. I use that a lot in my therapist, because you are different, you create balance in my life, and because you're different, I am able to be who I am, to think how I think, and I respect you for being the way that you are, because now I see you as a part of my program, part of my experience. And I thank you with love and gratitude always, not with dense emotions, with higher vibrations,
That's what I was going to
with love
actually
and
add.
gratitude.
Come from love. Yeah.
Yeah, I let you go and I set you free. I let you go and I set you free. And with a lot of gratitude, with a lot of greatness, with a lot of beautiful emotions, with a lot of love. You actually love them for being mean to you. Go figure. It is not logical. I know. I get it. It's difficult. Of course it is. That's why it works. It's like diet. Diet is difficult. Yeah, but it works. So it's the same. It's the same here.
Mindset goes with diet though. So that's like a big part of it too. But like, just to add on to that too, it's like, come from a place of love. If you do feel like you need to share, what's your emotions with someone, come from a place of love and not from a place of blame. That is a big one. I believe that a lot of times we want to immediately start pointing fingers. And it's like, well, when you're pointing a finger, there's 3 more pointing back at you. And it's actually something like, Jacob said, is it has to do with first and foremost looking inside yourself, releasing what there is to be released, and then comes forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, whatever that looks like, and just looking at it as like, oh, this is awesome. Now I get to discover a new trigger of mine, a new emotion that I can heal, and looking at it that way. I do have another question. I know we don't have that much time, but let's, I definitely want to get to, I don't want to mispronounce your name, Kavita Cole. And she said, what would you say to someone experiencing fear of reoccurrence for cancer and PTSD post the treatment? I'd actually love to, say something to that and then have you go after. And being someone that had a brain tumor back in 2017 and then having a new lesion, again, no idea what it is, right? Having an actual lesion occur again. For me, I realized that actually fear is really what feeds our body to actually create the dis-ease within our body. So what is happening right now is that you're cancer-free, right? I'm guessing, Kavita.
Yeah.
Right? And so right now, you need to be grateful and have so much love for what you went through. In my, in like my own personal experience, fear is not a reality. Fear is literally something we make up because we don't know where else to go to after an experience like that. And I'd love for your input with that as well, Jacob.
No, excellent. The other thing that I will add is that at the beginning of this conversation, we were talking about how there's that fear is a symptom. And it's a symptom of something that you experience at some point in your life. Either you remember or you're not. So it has have a root. I mean, the reason why you feel fear is because you hear that people die about cancer, that it was, or someone close to you died because of cancer, and so on and so forth. So what you need to go is try to make an exercise. I mean, the idea will be to have a session with Anuschka or call me and have a session with me. It doesn't really matter. We do the same work. And but it's to try to find out the first memory that you encounter with that, and then ask why you feel in that way, and where in your body you are carrying that fear, because most likely it's going to be inside of your body in an organ. And the way that I see it, and I'm going to go very fast because we don't have a lot of time, but the way that I see it is that every time that we feel fear, we actually come like in a cocoon, and we drop the energy inside of us, and we may even suspend the craniosacral pump, so the fluid that is going up and down through our calm stops. So there's a lot of physical reactions. So your organs are not receiving all the energy that they need. And if you have the energy of fear rumbling around, it's gonna, there's an organ that's gonna see it and it's gonna see, oh, energy, I need it, boom, and it's gonna take it, and it's gonna keep, and it's gonna be there stuck for many, many years, you know? So the idea is that you find the source, you find what it is, and then if you can do it in your own, release it. Release it, saying, you know what, this was a judgment that I was creating in myself because of this, and use all the different references that you experience through all your life that tells you the opposite. And then say, and I just become aware that it's not real for me, you know, and so I heal it and I let it go by sending love energy, by sending gratitude to that version of yourself. Ask permission, ask the permission to that version of yourself to release it, because it's very important, because if that version of yourself don't give you permission, it's going to be difficult. And explain to that version of yourself that you are living in a healthy body and that you are okay, and there's no need to experience fear. Now, there's the physical part of a cancer cell, and there's the energy and emotional part of cancer cells. We've been talking about this. Now, also make sure that you don't have any of the physical parts, which is keeping your body in an acidic environment all the time. You know, keep it more alkaline than acid, because as long as you have an alkaline body, you have enough oxygen in your body, and as long as you have enough oxygen in your body, everything is going to work perfectly. So there's no reason for you to manifest something. It's not going to come out of the blue. It's a symptom. You know, it's a symptom about something that is wrong. If you don't have the environment, if I try to plant corn in a concrete patio, it's not going to work, right? It doesn't matter if I put water on it. It doesn't matter if the sun is coming. It doesn't matter if the weather is perfect. If I throw all the nutrients on it, there's no place for the roots to go in, you know? So the environment creates the things, the symptoms that we have. PTSD, there's a lot that I'm telling you out of the experience with the people that I work with, that kind of thing. It's like a little by little thing, because they have a lot of resentment and a lot of fear because of things that.
Wait, you got cut out. There's a lot of resentment and
circumstances. Start forgiveness practice. A shortcut to do that is the meditation that we're going to have today. If you guys want to join us, we have a very
Oh, I was just saying, you got cut out. You were saying with
hear you.
Yeah, I think it froze you again. So you were talking about PTSD and how there's that actually based on your clients, there's a lot of resentment and whatnot with that, right? That's something you were referring to. And I do see that in general, cancer and, you know, cancer, tumors, anything really to that extent. Underneath a lot of that is anger and resentment that you've been holding on to. And so that's one of the things that I typically coach on. Okay, yeah, we have you back. So I was just repeating more so around PTSD, resentment, and so just cancer, tumors, and whatnot. A lot of underneath of that is anger and resentment and not forgiving, right?
But also the food.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the body piece.
Yeah, and remember that we're a whole. You know, we don't have only one side or the other side. We have a whole. If all the energetic, emotional stuff is working amazingly good, but your body, you don't exercise, breathe properly, you don't eat the food that you need, you know, you're gonna have a.
And then thoughts are a big part of it too, because you know, mind, body, spirit for a reason, right? It's all about the thoughts we have. It's about what we feed our body. It's about, you know, the energy that we're in, our spirit is in, right? But could you repeat the PTSD part again, because that's what you got.
The thing is that there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. It's because most of the remember, you didn't have PTSD before. right? Like when you were born or when you were a little kid. You have it after an event. So that event created something. It's because you were following orders, or you were acting based on the environment in a certain particular way that didn't match your way of thinking or beliefs. And now you feel bad about it. And you think that you deserve something bad. So you need to work on a lot of healing, always with loving gratitude. What I was saying is that we have a practice, it's a meditation practice every Tuesday, 7 to 8 Pacific time.
So today, this evening.
Yeah, today, and it's only $20, guys. And I mean, I charge $125 an hour, right, for therapy, and it's usually 2 hours. So $20 is nothing, you know. Going to the meditation and use that energy when I take you there to that place where you are at the deeper levels, is you go from alpha to beta to theta or gamma waves, you know, in your brain. Use it to heal, to ask for forgiveness.
Got cut out again. Yeah, so during that, oh, there we go, he's back. Yeah. Okay. So you got cut out again. So I was gonna just add, yeah. So when we do the meditations, you know, we actually we'll do a part of it is gonna be healing. We actually go through, you know, Jacob walks us through the healing aspect, forgiving either our past versions of ourselves, others, for whatever there is that needs to be forgiven, whatever there is that needs to be healed. That is brought to, that's why these Tuesday evening meditations are so powerful, because not only do you get grounded, you get your aura cleansed, but on top of it, you go into this deep meditation and you discover so much about yourself. So we'd love for you to join us. And we only have 2 minutes left. So thank you all for the questions. Feel free to message us if you need, you know, more guidance, if you need, you know, more support, if you'd like to speak with either one of us. Yeah, just let us know. And I don't have any questions on Facebook. Oh, also I wanted to share that we are still planning on doing the empaths workshop. We don't have a set date or time yet, and as soon as we do, we'll definitely let you know. Even those that are on here, I do believe that it's going to benefit a lot of you when it comes to just being, you know, taking on emotions from other people.
Yeah, because we're going to use this same system that we've been talking about, you know, healing the source. Yes. Why I choose to become an empath. So let's heal that part, so you don't have to continue feeling the emotions of others that very, very intensively, you know. That's what it is.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And Kavita, I will definitely reach out to you. I'd love to, you know, have a chat with you as well, based on what you're dealing with. And anyone else too, if you'd like to have additional, you know, private talks, we're here for that. Have a great rest of your day, and hope to see you all this evening. I will be posting about that shortly as well. All right.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye.